Hello, hello, hello. I'm just gonna test really quick. So talk for a second. Ooh, that looks good. Try not to think about like how it's being perceived and like. Will you say something?
Hello.
Okay. It's now rolling.
Okay.
Since my senior year of high school, I've lost 5 people to suicide.
This year, I had 3 friends who committed suicide.
So from 2016 to 2018, I've lost and known 7 people from the ages of 14 to 24 that have killed themselves.
All of her pictures were like the person that you wanted to be, like always happy, always hiking, always doing like crazy stuff. So that was, that's like the misconception that I think that we all have always, is that those people are happy, they're thriving, they're never gonna, end up in this situation.
He was my first kiss. He was like someone like so consistent in my life.
I'd say that like we were connected on like such a deep fucking level, like I don't know, it was a true like soul connection.
It kind of like after another, it like was a shock to your soul. It felt like you couldn't do anything. Like I don't know, you just had someone there that you loved so dearly, and then they're completely gone, and you know that you have a long life ahead of you, and you're about to spend that whole life without them.
I mean, I definitely do think it needs to be talked about more, because everyone always sees the end result, like the suicide itself, but no one talks before that, and it's like always too late.
It sucks to talk about, and it's uncomfortable, and we don't want to face the fact that people feel so uncomfortable in their bodies and so uncomfortable with this world that they want to leave. But the fact of the matter is it's happening, and that if we keep like putting it off to a different time when we feel more comfortable, or like when the time is right, like we're time is moving and we're losing people.
How could you ever expect there to be growth if it's not brought to the forefront? That the uncomfortable thing is what makes us grow the most. Talking about something is not going to ever make it worse.
Honestly, if I had a kid and I would start talking about it to them at the age of like 8 or 9, not about suicide necessarily, but I would definitely talk about mental health and depression, and like that seeing a therapist is okay, or getting help is okay, talking to your friends, talking to your family is okay, that their feelings are valid.
I think people should know that they're not a burden to people when it has to come to like their mental health and how they're feeling. Everyone has someone that cares about them deeply, and so like people's feelings actually matter.
The best thing you can do is like be real with people. Like, when they're asking how you're doing, be honest. Like, don't just say I'm good to avoid the conversation. Don't just try to avoid it, because like that's only hurting yourself.
Life's hard, dude. Like, it's hard, it's real, but like we're all here for each other, and that's the most important thing, and that's the most important thing that we have to show. We have to be there for each other. We have to be vulnerable with each other, honest, open, compassionate.
And as much as like you want, like I know sometimes it's like, well, I wish that my friends would just know. Like I wish that they could just tell, but it's like we're all in our own heads too. We're all going through our own shit. So, and it's a hard step to take, but it's just like if you are the first one to say something, like most of the time someone else is feeling the same way. And again, we can't expect you to know where you're at unless you tell us. And when you tell us, like, we're here.
Know that it's not uncommon, it's not taboo to be depressed. that mental illness is like not embarrassing.
It's never a bad thing to just ask someone if they're doing okay, and like if they just want to open up and talk.
If I could go back, I would tell myself to fucking make a move, to take action when I recognize it immediately.
Go to them and be 100% honest and say, I am worried about you. I'm worried about you because you've been showing this, and this. I don't want to lose you as a friend, so we need to talk about this. It's just me and you here. Like, let's just be straight up honest with each other. Like, I'm here for you. Like, talk.
I think it's like important to even bring up the topic of suicide and just make it feel like it's not something that they have to keep a secret or that they have to feel ashamed of.
Because you need to fight for your life. You're gonna have an army of people with you too, but you're the most important person in that battle, I guess.
I think that the people who commit suicide are always aware of the resources they have available to them, and that's because of like how it isn't being talked about and how it isn't being educated.
There are people that have gotten over it, and there's like multiple types of resources that you can look at. If you don't like one, you can go to another. You can try a medication, you can go to therapy, you can try meditation. There's like a million different ways that you can try to help yourself.
Like I think it's absolutely remarkable how many people like in my life go to therapy and how we openly talk about it, and we'll joke, we'll be like, oh well, Barb would say this and Julia would say this, like talking about our therapists. Like it's just become a topic of conversation now, and it's just building so much more healthier versions of ourselves.
If you do things that better your mind and you know it's bettering your mind and you know that it's helped you, it's important to share that with these people.
I remember going from his like ceremony to the gravesite, how many cars were lined up, and I wish he would just realize how many people actually cared about him.
It feels good to be yourself, and if you're not being genuine about your emotions to people, you're restricting yourself from that.
Nothing is permanent, and that there's so many good days that outweigh the bad ones, and I know that sometimes like you literally don't feel that and you don't see that, but like there have been times where I have just been like in the crowd at a show just smiling ear to ear and being like, this makes it all worth it.
There's beauty everywhere, and I understand it's hard to see that sometimes. I understand, but it's there, and trust that it's there for you to see.
Think about like your happiest times, like the times where you're like having the most fun, or even just like days honestly where you wake up in a good mood. Like those days are like priceless. I feel, like that feeling is just like so good, and knowing that like you have been there, you can get back there. It's just gonna take a little while.
Just remember the happy times in your life, that not your whole life you didn't go through misery. Just hold on to those like those special moments.
Some of those times haven't even happened yet, and selling yourself short and thinking that this is how it's going to be forever, I think is just selling yourself short on so many more great experiences that make you feel happy to be alive.